Hey there. I just resized my window. Let me. This. There we go. Okay. So in this sprint or kind of feature or video, we're going to be adding the QR code to the device. So again, if you tap give consent, then you're going to see the QR code on screen. So let's get that part taken care of. So we have, in order to show the QR code, we need to get the device ID, and then we need to render it as a QR code. So we're going to use two modules, node packet modules, to accomplish this. And this first one is to be able to get the device ID. So we're just going to go back to our terminal here, and we're going to add the first one. And then we're going to have to kill the simulator, because if you install a packet module, you usually have to restart the simulator. This too. Okay, so that's installed now. Let's go back and read the installations run. Okay, so we have to link it as well. So we're going to run this. There we go. Now it's linked. Now we can actually use it. So they have. Okay, so this is what we're going to use. So we're going to go back to our app.js file, which again, if you're familiar with React, you're probably screaming that I'm just kind of shoving everything in here, and right now I am. We'll definitely go back and refactor it, but for the sake of simplicity. So here we have device info. And all we're going to do here is, right now, we're going to just put the actual device info dot get device ID. And if we then go back to our terminal and yarn run iOS. And it's taking a while to rebuild it because we added some new modules and linked them, so it's got to kind of rebuild the runtime. Alright, so now should be up. Okay, so by default the request consent one is checked. We'll click this. Request. Okay, so for some reason that is not working. Cannot read property device ID. So it says that should work, but it definitely does not work. Not sure why. So this is null. That's what it's saying. It's not defined. But we're trying to import it from here. Let's let's just try doing this to see if that actually works. Cannot read property device ID of undefined. I wonder, it's not coming from our code, it's actually coming from the modules code. So even if we do the import and reload, so it's actually trying to get device ID, and this is where it's throwing the error, and that's not our code. This is from the actual module code. So I wonder if they just have a problem with the simulator. Or if there's possibly another node. I think this is the same one we just went to. Yeah, Rebecca Hughes. It's the same thing. I want the same one. React ID, device info, simulator. Okay, so quit the simulator. So he unlinked it, then linked it again. Okay, so maybe, so what this guy did is he completely wiped out the build. So he RF iOS build, and let's link it and unlink it. So unlink it. Let's link it again. Let's see. don't know if we're using Expo or not, because it says Expo is Expo. Expo. Yarn lock. No, we're not using Expo. So this guy ran this afterward. Okay. Alright, so let's just give that a shot again. I'll pause this because it's going to take a while to build it. Oh my gosh, after a long time, basically of just rebuilding the project over and over and over again, it finally worked. Apparently this was a common problem with that library, and it was the answer was just to keep trying and trying to install it. So now we actually have it. So now if you have request consent, there is the device identifier, and it'll be a lot longer on an actual device. It's just short because it's on the simulator. One thing I do want to do is I wanted to change this, and so I wanted to say unless else if equals 1, and then else view, because we don't have to have something selected by default. I'm getting an error though. This is closed here. I don't know why I'm getting an error. You see the error I'm getting down here, so I'm just trying to figure out how to close it. Oh, I see. I'm an idiot. That's why. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to set selected index on low to null, so none of them will be selected, and we should then see just a blank view when it's loaded. There we go. So now neither of these are selected, and we can do request consent, grant consent. So the next step that we have to do is actually render this string of characters as a QR code. And since I need a break after all that fighting with this, I will save that for next time.